our very first Patreon-only video.
Yes.
I mean, maybe later we'll post it to the chicken channel, but we want to give you guys the opportunity first.
Yes.
So
as you know, I'm Laura.
and I'm Leah, and we
Hot chicken.
collectively hot chicken.
Chicken.
So we were talking, and we were regaling old stories of
Our
cruises
Yeah.
over the years, and we thought, let's save it and record it so we could share with you guys some of our tales of the sea.
Tales of the Sea and beyond.
And beyond.
I tell you.
So, how did we get into cruising?
I remember how I got into cruising. I don't know. Back then they were doing lots of commercials.
I'll tell you, yeah.
Love boat, blah, blah, blah.
The Love Boat was my jam.
Right?
That was my favorite all-time show.
So I don't know if you
And then
were
the Carnival
researching.
just slammed it with the ads.
Well, it was Kathy Lee.
Kathy Lee, yes.
Yes, Kathy Lee and all of the commercials.
What was that song?
If they could see you now out on a punch-up cruise, eating fancy food and doing what you choose. I'd like your friends back home to get a good look at the first-rate Carnival cruise that you took.
Kathy Lee.
So I started researching actually online. I used to carry my laptop around. I mean, I didn't care what I was going to do. I was going to book it today. And basically that's
didn't
what
know
I
that.
did. Yeah, on Royal Caribbean.
Royal Caribbean.
So I guess my mom and her man wanted to go too. So all of us went. Leah didn't get to go.
I was not a happy camper.
But my husband at the time, not anymore. My husband, me, my son, my mom, and her man. We all went.
Her man, Wendell.
To an Eastern Caribbean trip.
We should put that in the scam bag. Let Wendell do his thing.
Yes.
That was your first cruise. So
Well, everybody had to have a tuxedo, and we didn't get one for Wendell, so I don't know. I mean,
poor Wendell.
I don't know how. I don't remember.
I don't either. It was so long ago.
They did their thing, we did ours. So
Let Wendell do his thing.
let them do their thing. I saw the turtles, the tortugas. Anyway, it was all of those Caribbean places. So fun.
now
we climbed the. We went to Jamaica, and we climbed Dunn Falls.
That's right.
Appropriate,
That's her name.
because that's my last name.
Dunn River Falls.
Dunn River Falls.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget how pushy those Jamaican people are when you get off. You have to walk through this like somewhat mallish outdoor
is it
area.
Like Mexico? I've never been.
Yeah, it's like that. Only they're pushier than Mexico.
How can that be?
They're very pushy, although they were very nice.
Yeah.
But anyway, you have to just like put the focus on and go.
No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank
Although
you.
I did buy a couple of things.
Except I did buy a few things.
Then after that, we went and swam with the dolphins. I remember that.
Well, no wonder I was so having FOMO. I was like so upset.
jealous.
I was so upset. You were not prepared for seasickness.
Oh no! Always take your Dramamine or your Bonine.
Even in the Caribbean, because even though it's like lots
but
smoother,
it's still doing the thing. You're still doing the thing.
the boat thing.
But it's not like that, like we experienced this last cruise. But it was a slow roll, and so the slow roll gets you sick. It's just like driving on a windy road.
Was that toward the beginning or the end of the cruise?
It was a whole cruise.
You were sick the whole time?
Well, no, I finally went and got some Bonine.
She went to the infirmary.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was my first experience, and we did it again after that. We went to. I've done 3 with my family.
Well, after you cruised, I had such a fit. I mean, I probably was in tears. Probably.
Poor Leah.
I mean, I was not having the Love Boat went without me. And I was very upset. I mean, I was really upset. So my husband for Christmas surprised me. Now, he has surprised me very few times in our marriage, but he surprised me.
I didn't know this.
Yes, he booked by himself, well, with a travel agent, but he booked without me, without consulting me, nothing, a trip to Alaska.
I thought you had everything to do with that. He
No,
did it all. Oh my
he
gosh.
planned it all. He had the flight, he had everything, and I opened it up, and it was the itinerary in an envelope.
Wow.
Major
How
points.
romantic.
Major points.
Yeah, I loved Alaska when we went.
Oh,
We went to Alaska, and
I'm the whale queen, and that was just
I went at your suggestion. I took the
yes.
that particular whale watching.
Yes.
What was it called?
It was Bob's or something. I don't know.
It wasn't through the cruise. It was separate, and it was
Yeah.
just really good.
It was really, really good.
And
Yeah, we went to Glacier Bay, which you guys didn't do though. Got to go to Glacier Bay.
well,
I'm
did
telling
go to
you.
Glacier Bay. Wasn't that where you go in and the glacier's right there and you watch it?
Well, it's all over. There's many, many glaciers in Glacier Bay.
Pardon me.
Many glaciers. And you cruise around it all day long, and they take you to the different. We were going to enter Glacier Bay at like sunrise, 6 a.m., something like that. And I remember I'm going to go. Now, Wayne at the time was not like still not a morning person, becoming more, but not really. So I went up by myself to it was a Norwegian ship. So they are very known for their bow lounges that have panoramic views.
Yes.
I get up there. I've been waiting for this. I've been plotting this. I want to be there as we enter the bay. It was foggy.
Oh.
Foggy.
Oh.
Sheet of fog. You could hear the foghorn going. I'm like, great. So I'm sitting up there having my coffee, whatever, in the fog and talking to the naturalist. And I swear, when we got to the mouth of the bay,
The
the fog lifted like
Ooh.
a curtain on a performance.
They probably knew that. It probably was a thing.
It was maybe, and it was just the most. And there were 2 orca whales right in front of the bow of the ship.
Oh, that's
Swimming.
funny.
It was like one of these magical moments. So it was spectacular. So then I'm hooked on cruising from
Right?
forever, right?
When I went on it was the Radiance of the Seas. I booked the Radiance of the Seas, I think 3 times. I loved it so much. But anyway, they had a concierge lounge because once you get so many points, you just sit in there. And we had a suite. But anyway, that's another thing. They upgraded us from a mini suite that we had gotten.
Right.
Because we were taking my husband's grandfather, who had, this would be his last trip before he passed. He had
Congestive heart failure.
But so, first, I shopped for that particular one.
You wanted that balcony
because they have
on
the hump, But anyway, so they upgraded us to the suite on the hump. And it was great.
The hump suite.
So, the hump suite. It wasn't that
No,
sweet.
she was like with her entire family. There was no humping going on in there.
No sweet, no humping sweet. Anyway.
No sweet
Yeah,
humping.
I just remember, oh my gosh, sitting in the concierge lounge with my mimosa and my stuff,
I just had coffee. Yeah.
And there were orcas, coming through the inside passage, and they were following along our boat.
Oh
It was pretty crazy. I thought, because the inside passage is fairly inside,
You can clearly see shore and animals if they were so inclined to be there. It was amazing.
A beautiful, beautiful trip. I recommend Alaska.
So now in our, Laura is now like almost platinum or something in Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, I was like up there, getting it all handled on purpose.
And we've discovered the joys of cruising now. I think my interpretation of cruising prior to ever looking at a cruise was it was out of my league. I couldn't go. It was too expensive. That was something you could never afford. But then we found out, this is the cheapest way to travel.
Really, if you're going to go away for 7 days, you really can't beat the price. Food's included, your transportation included, all the shows that you want to watch. You can get off in the port. You don't have to take an excursion. You can just walk around, do what you like. Everything is included for the most part. Of course, you can,
your alcohol, your spas, that kind of thing.
Yeah, or like specialty restaurants, which they have, or you can take an excursion, but you don't have to. So
Right.
it's really very inexpensive if you plan it that way.
Yep.
So
So we discovered now Royal Caribbean sailing out of Los
Long
Angeles, Long Beach
Yes.
Harbor.
and it was a very small ship, the Monarch of the Seas.
Yes, Monarch of the Seas. So we got into this pattern. This went into our pattern of 3 and 4 day cruises out of Long Beach.
We would normally take the 4-day cruise.
We loved
because,
the 4-day.
because you got more points for that.
You got more points, and it was 3 nights. It's really 2 nights. Well,
It's
because,
the 3-day.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was our last trip that we took before they moved the Monarch away. We
Or else
we
we'd
went.
still be
Oh,
doing
we
it.
stayed at. We came in the night before, and we thought, well, wouldn't it be fun to have a whole cruise experience? And we stayed on the Queen Mary. Have you done that, folks?
I mean, it's like a step into the past, Leah.
Yes.
It's like they didn't have air conditioning; they had little fans. You know, the little
Yeah.
old-fashioned fans.
You could
the
open your porthole, though.
porthole, and you know they had the old writing desks, and it was just literally like a step into the past.
Now, if you're looking for luxury accommodations, this is not your hotel.
Probably not.
Probably not, because I think the beds were probably the same beds from
Well, yeah. Everything.
But
I
it's
love
for
it.
the experience. I loved it too. One night's okay, and then we got there and we went on the ghost tour, and Laura was like, I don't believe in ghosts, so
No, I was like totally that until that day. I was like poo-pooing it
she
all.
didn't buy into that kind of stuff.
All
So
of it,
we went
yeah.
on the whole ghost tour, and it was really cool. After, during the day, they have tours of the Queen Mary, so it's pretty bustly throughout the day. But at night, all the tourists went home, and you kind of it felt like
You had the run of the ship.
you had the run of the
Yeah.
ship. You could walk the decks, and
Yeah, there was nobody really wandering about.
yeah.
Not like a cruise ship, you know.
Yeah,
and it was like
so cool.
yeah, they had we had dinner
And we went to a comedy show.
a comedy show was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, after we took that ghost tour and I poo-pooed it all, and they told us about the captain who used to chase around women and follow them into the bathrooms
Yeah.
and stuff.
The ghost captain.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess he must have done that in real life too. I mean, when
Well,
he was-
yeah, that was his
But
thing.
then
But he
they,
still
they were telling
carried it
about how
on
he
after.
was carrying it on after he had passed, and so yeah. So that night we went to sleep, and Leah and I are sleeping on the opposite ends. We got 2 little beds, and right in the middle there's this old writing desk, and it literally is an original like
Writing
a writing
desk,
desk. You know,
yeah.
it had the little chair, it had the beautiful woods.
I-
Like I didn't even know what kind of wood. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go to sleep, and I feel somewhere in the night.
I'm in the sound asleep on this ship. I'm sound asleep, and all of a sudden, the lights fling on, and she's like, "What?
What is
I'm
it?
like,
What is
What?" And
I'm trying to tear the bed up because I knew a piece of paper had floated onto my face, and I went like this, and then knocked it off, and I wanted to see what the hell it was. I mean, it felt like a piece of paper.
she goes, there was something on me. It was like a piece of paper, but it was crunchy,
Like
crunchy,
a parchment, like a-
yeah." And I said, like parchment paper, and she was like, "Yeah."
I did. I looked everywhere. I looked in. There was nothing. So I think,
And she said it was crumpled
yeah, like somebody had been writing
and crumpled it
and
and
it kind of
threw
went
it.
like that, and it landed on me. So yeah,
She's now a believer.
I-
But we drove home and we went up the coast and we stopped in San Clemente.
no,
and
San Simeon.
San Simeon,
Yeah.
yes. San whatever.
San
something.
Simeon, where the Hearst Castle is.
Yeah, and we went to the Hearst Castle and all that. We spent the night in some little motel.
Yeah, Leah has this like thing that she takes on cruises that hangs over the door, and you got your little pockets in there and things. She puts her makeup and all of that stuff
Little
in.
sundry stuff. Yeah.
So-
I am getting ready, and my tweezers that were hanging in the thing, I'm literally getting ready, not even near the thing.
No,
And they come up and they go out onto the floor.
they go onto the floor.
And I'm like, what happened? I mean, that was the first thing. And I was like, what was that? So I get another.
Without thinking, I mean,
I-
it's kind of odd. It was a little bit, we were taken aback by this.
Yes, so
She picks it up, puts it back, and we go.
and I put it in, and we literally then watched it come out again and go onto the floor. And we were like, let's get out of here.
It was really kind of spooky.
We got out of there. And so we went to the store. There was a book right at the counter that said, Ghosts of San Simeon.
Apparently, we met one.
Apparently so.
On this trip, we met 2 ghosts, and we don't even know. I mean, they were related, or one followed me home.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, didn't like your tweezers.
It
for
didn't
whatever
like my
reason.
tweezers.
Yeah.
But that particular cruise, we had gotten into, Wayne and I met a couple on a Mexican cruise, which I'll talk about in a minute, but they went on one of those trips with us, Marcia and Linty. And
Marcia and Linty,
yes,
yes.
yeah. And we had a fabulous time with them. They had their own cabin, we had our own cabin, and we, hung out with them, and it was fine, Well, then again, the next try, we're like, hey, let's invite an old
Another
friend
person,
of ours
yeah.
because we used to live in that area.
Yeah.
And so we invited this person to come with us, and it was cool. And
Was it?
we've learned you got to be very careful who you invite on
Well,
a trip.
with Marcia and Lenty, they had their own cabin.
They did their own thing.
They did their thing. With this person, we invited him along with us, and we know how we travel.
Right.
And we invited her to come along with us in the cabin. She was the 3rd person.
Right.
Yes.
So and she got the smoking deal.
She did.
She only
There's like $99 or something.
Yeah, not even.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we travel well together because we're the kind of people, it's like, oh, I want to go do this,
I don't.
and I don't, and you go, okay, fine, well, I'm going to go do it. And
Yeah.
nobody's butthurt over it. Nobody cares. You go do your thing, and we're just very
Well, long
much
story
like that.
short, we spent our whole trip trying, catering to this person
Trying to appease her.
because nothing could make her happy.
No,
nothing.
Where are we going to eat? What are we going to do?
Nothing
Where are we
could
gonna
make
go?
her happy.
So,
I opened the door to the balcony. Oh no, she can't have that. It's just too loud and too windy. Oh,
yeah.
isn't that why we have a balcony? So we can open the door and
Yeah.
kind of peer out.
Yeah.
Oh no, don't
Yeah.
do that. It's too loud, too noisy,
Yeah.
too windy. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
So it didn't. Be careful who you choose to travel with.
Right.
And Wayne and I took a Mexican Riviera cruise out of San Francisco, where we first met Marcia and Linty, who live very close by, and we met them on Cruise Critics, and they live up by the lake, and so we've been in touch and friends ever since. But that was a great cruise, and that was our 10th anniversary, so we've been married 23 years.
I'd say you probably did just as many cruises as I did. When it all boils down to
Well,
it.
yeah, I mean, maybe.
Because
Yeah.
I did 3 without you.
And I did
Probably 3
three
without me.
without you. Yeah.
And the rest of them we did together.
Together. So, yeah, that's true.
And
That's
this was
very
before
true.
COVID days, because one time we went down and I was sick as a dog. I had fever. I was sick.
Yes,
remember?
and they just
I was
get on
so
board.
sick. I was so sick. I had the flu, I'm sure. Leah's like, why don't you take Advil? I'm like, I don't take that. I won't take that. She goes, really seriously, it will help you. And so finally,
She took one.
not the first day. The first day I remember getting on the ship and just laying on the bed being
Yeah.
so sick.
Yes.
But
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then I took the Advil and then I was fine.
Oh, and another one of our moniker of the sea things. We did decide, because it was like a last minute thing, to do an inside cabin.
Oh my
The
gosh.
first and only time we've done an inside
And
cabin.
really seriously, inside cabins are fun.
It was
Yeah. They're tiny.
So it was so tiny, and because it was a tiny ship.
Yeah.
And
Monarch of the
this
Seas.
was like, you have your main aisles, and this was in
And the crossways are the little cabins.
yeah,
you
the
know?
little cabins. So, we are in Party Central.
Literally Party Central. People are hooting and going on.
Mm-hmm.
We left our door open. I mean, it's kind of entertaining.
Yeah, and just so we could listen and stuff.
And so next,
Two girls.
these 2 ladies, kind of like probably about 29 or 30-ish years old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
drunk
Drunk.
already, and it hadn't even left the dock. Yeah.
She comes in with her friend and she goes, "Hey, girls!" And
She's sitting down on our bed and just like, "Oh, this is going to be fun." It's like,
and here we are, two old ladies.
we're like, "Hi, who are
Hi.
you?" Long story short, they were so drunk that they got quarantined to their room.
They got banned to their cabin. Well, it was because they were in the bar making up a scene, you know. So they got banned. Then when I went with my mother, and Wendell, her man, were going to take a New England cruise on Norwegian. I can't remember the name of the ship. I don't want to say the Sun, but I'm probably not. Anyway. Yes, so Wendell couldn't go last minute, so I took the place of Wendell to take care of my mom because at this point she needed kind of like a chaperone.
She wasn't going to go by herself.
Well, I mean, she needed a chaperone. Because you got to keep her out of the booth.
Got to keep her out of the bar. My poor mother.
Out of the mini fridge.
The mini bar.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
Laura regaled me with this when... I think you probably called me from the ship because it hadn't even left the dock yet. She's like, "You won't believe what's happening." So my mother is sitting there
on the edge of the bed next to the
mini bar
and just like guzzling down the little bottles.
Laura's like, "Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching."
I don't think she knew that we had to pay for them. I think she had 3 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no. So I picked up the phone and I had them come and take it, you know.
Please remove the mini bar.
Let's have some sodas in here. That'll be fine. Oh, boy.
So that was a trip, though.
Yeah,
You had quite
10
a
days.
10 days.
Beautiful trip, though, you guys, from New York up into Nova Scotia and around Quebec. And it was just probably the best scenic-wise that I've ever seen. It was just beautiful.
I was supposed to go on that,
It was during the fall when all the leaves were changing. I get goosebumps just thinking.
Yeah. So, but Mother had an incident, right, on the ship.
Well, she went out in the morning for her usual drink, which that's why she went out. And she's coming back, and she comes in and she sits down and casually tells me.
Casually?
Yeah.
Like,
so casual. Some guy had
the hallway
had followed her down the hallway and pushed her up against the wall and started in the hallway and started feeling her up. This is my mom. She had to be about 72, 75. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Always a good-looking woman, though.
But yes, very attractive for her age. But this guy was a younger gentleman. I mean, gentleman, no. But she casually tells me this, and I just am mortified.
Oh.
I was like, where is his cabin?
She picks up the phone.
I picked up the phone. I mean, literally, she knew where his cabin was. The next thing I know, they have securities down there taking notes from us, plus, you know, where he was at. And they looked on the cameras and saw this incident. And so they quarantined this guy to his room, but his wife was with him.
Yeah.
They put out the red carpet for us the rest of the trip.
Yes,
we got two, because you know, we got tours of the bridge,
a private tour
of the bridge, which was just fantastic. Yeah. And my mother, being my mother the way she was at the time, you know, here I am all like going on this tour, and she's just sitting there, and I'm like, "Mom, look, you're here
on the bridge."
And she's like, "I know," and then
yeah.
You know, it wasn't a gift shop.
She liked a good gift shop.
She did. Yeah. I
had trouble keeping track of her.
I had to chase her down. One time when we were in Quebec, we were visiting this beautiful ornate church. We took a trip, and, you know, it had a big parking lot, and we were like parked there, and we went into the church, and it's so beautiful. I was taking pictures, you know. I look around, my mom's not there anymore, and I couldn't find her. And she wasn't anywhere. And so I come out the church and I'm looking around and I look way across the parking lot on the other side of the street on the kitty corner side. And I thought, it's a gift shop. I'm going over there. Ding, 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 Guess what? She was there. She was there at the gift shop.
That was her main goal, was to provide trinkets to bring home to the grandkids.
And it was usually just a magnet or
a mug.
Yeah,
or
you
a
know, anything
t-shirt.
you could probably buy at the port.
Or on the ship.
Right, but she loved to go in the gift shop, so I knew where
She
to
did
look.
like a good gift shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when
so-
we were in Boston, I was shocked that she wanted to take the street tour because that was a walking tour.
Oh.
And you know how she could hardly walk because of
Yeah.
her knees. She had to have knee surgery. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, it was very harrowing.
Lordy,
But it was
lordy,
a
lordy.
fun, beautiful trip. I recommend that trip to anyone. And if you can pinpoint when the leaves are changing, best time of the year is really.
Yep. And then we kind of, I mean, I think Wayne and I, our trip to Mexico was probably the last time before this time that any of us cruised.
You
And
went
that
on the
was
Sammy
almost,
tour.
oh, the Sammy boat.
Sammy tour.
The Sammy tour. Wayne, as you know, or maybe you don't know, is an audio engineer and has been so forever, since he was knee-high to a gopher. And Sammy Hagar, he was one of Sammy's like go-to audio engineers. And so Sammy had a cruise for his fans, the Red Rocker cruise, whatever. So we got to go for free. Because Wayne was going to be the audio engineer. What's funny about the Sammy cruise is Sammy doesn't cruise because Sammy gets seasick.
So he meets you there
So you cruise to Cabo
with the band, with
with
everybody.
the band. His son Aaron, who is just a doll, sings on the cruise with the band. And then you get to Cabo San Lucas and you go to his Cabo Wabo and they have a big show and concert with Sammy. So
Fun.
fun. It was fun.
It was fun.
What was interesting was that, because we were a part of the band, we had, I want to say wranglers, but handlers or security.
Handlers.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So we always were like, wranglers. Whoo, get over here.
Head him up, move him out.
Anytime we went anywhere, like to dinner or whatever, we would all have to meet, and then they would take us. Because these guys, you had Michael Anthony and,
They're pretty famous.
from Van Halen and all this stuff. So, it was just surreal to me to be, I was like eating with Michael Anthony and Vic Johnson. And
Guess who wasn't invited?
Laura. Ha, ha, ha. But it was
Payback is a
funny
bitch.
because I remember one night we were back, I want to say backstage, but in a crew area, being wrangled to go to dinner or coming back from dinner or something. And Michael Anthony, who's the bass player, his daughter, she must have been 13 years old maybe. And you think of Michael Anthony, I don't know how, he's like the hardcore rocker. And, you just like, he's down there with his 13-year-old daughter. And he's like, you will be in that cabin by 10 o'clock. And you will. And she's
Because
like,
you know why?
"But Dad.
Because
but
he
Dad."
knows what it's like.
Yeah.
He's
She's
been
like,
there.
No, I'm not going to listen to this. You are going to be there. You're going to be on restriction. Not come out of that cabin. And I'm just like, even
hardcore rockers
have their
thing with their
problems.
kids.
Yeah. So, but it was fun. It was an experience.
We really have had a lot of fun on cruises.
Yeah.
And we're going to start doing it again now that they're doing more and more
Yeah.
from the West Coast, because it's kind of hard to fly here and there all
Well,
the
yeah.
time.
I mean, everybody does the Caribbean because it's so dirt cheap, but when you have to fly there and stay there, and it
Although,
adds up.
seriously, this time around, I did book Easy Air through Princess, which they take care. They give you a really great deal for your flights, and then you can have them pick you up at the airport and just take you right to the ship. Now that's a great thing.
That's a great deal.
Because for Panama Canal, if you want to do the whole Panama Canal,
yeah, you got to
book
get
your
home.
Easy Air, take you to one side, and then they bring you home from the other side. Well, how cool is
How
that?
cool is that? And then there was Hawaii, but you guys all know that story. So,
Of course, Hawaii.
whatever.
I don't want to get into Hawaii.
We don't want to talk about that.
Y'all know about Hawaii.
Y'all know about that. But
And if
anyway,
you don't, go back and watch the videos, because you'll know.
You'll know about Hawaii. Yeah. So anyway, that's our cruise history in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys, we love you. Thank you so much for supporting us on this platform. I can't thank you enough. It truly means a lot to us. It helps us with our equipment. We got a new light. It helps us with the expenses. I mean, there are expenses.
Oh, there's,
yeah,
a lot of expenses.
Yeah. So we thank you for helping to support us in that and keeping us going.
And
so.
a new camera that got, the old camera got cracked. You guys bought the new camera too.
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyway, we love you. We're going to do more of this. And if there's something you want to see or you have questions, we can do a Q&A, whatever floats your boat.
We'll scam, maybe do some scam baiting here too.
Yeah. We'll see. All right, you guys. For now, we'll see you